Now let's continue with part 4, the diagonal of the sun between Madrid and Barcelona. Gates of Madrid, Arab city, 11th century, with its extension to the northeast. Looking at the old picture of the ancient wall of Madrid with the Puerta de la Vega facing the river, the location of the future arc is marked. Following the next walled gates of Madrid's growth in a non-easterly direction is the Almudena Gate, the Guadalajara Gate, and the Puerta del Sol Gate. The Arab Gate of Guadalajara is blind and prevents the sun from passing through it, forcing the visitor to break through. The Madrid Sky Gate, located outside the historic town by the river. Here, the area of the location of the Madrid Sky Gate. It will be built on the present discotheque site next to the river, south of Segovia Street and the outside of the historic quarter. Its orientation faces the diagonal of the sun, red stripes through the space above the gardens of Atenas Park and Cuesta de la Vega. Arab Gate of Guadalajara with defensive towers, access in the dark and with a reinforced zigzag-like entry. The plan of the old gate of Guadalajara, where the market of San Miguel, shows the defensive building on the ancient wall. The Puerta del Sol in the Christian period shows exactly the orientation of the contemporary street Mira el Sol in the Rastro area of Madrid. The diagonal of the sun from the Sky Gate arc continues until crossing the Alcalá Gate. Location of the sun in the arc keystone of the Puerta del Sol shining gate. The Puerta del Sol was demolished in 1570 and was located in the center space between the plaza and the Buen Suceso Hospital. It is elongated space. The central arc of the Puerta del Sol was luminous because it lets the sun pass between the door and its keystone, or, according to other authors, a sun was sculpted in the keystone. Hence the name of Plaza de la Puerta del Sol, or perhaps the Sunset Gate. Madrid, with its closing of the Puerta del Sol, is declared capital of Spain by King Felipe II in 1561, King of Spain and Portugal. In 1561, the King of Spain, Portugal, and Spanish empires named Madrid as the capital of Spain, which included the conquest of America and the Philippines. Since Spain, there were never colonies, but annexions where the same Spanish rights remain. The sun's journey in the tropic zones, Madrid, Barcelona, with the sun's diagonal, observing the sun's path in the space between summer and winter, solstice. Passing through spring and autumn equinoxes, we can see the difference in the height of the sun to the south of the observer. As long as the day lasts in the summer compared to the duration of the day in the winter, between the sunrises and the sunset, the diagonal of the sun, it's a line that runs between the sunrise of the longest day and the sunset of the shortest day of the year. The present Puerta del Sol Plaza has a semicircular shape since 1858. In the left image, you can see the winter solstice sunset in the Puerta del Sol gate that was located in the middle of the plaza. In the right image, you can see the remodeling of the Puerta del Sol square in 1858, harmonizing the access of the streets, demolishing buildings to leave a semicircular floor plan. The diagonal of the sun line in the plaza between of La Puerta del Sol gate in the Stonehenge, England. Synthesized plan of the current plaza of La Puerta del Sol plaza in the form of the semicircular and fan with its 7 streets following the division of a clock, with the north of its axis of the street in the meridian of the known world in the 16th century. Note the diagonal of the sun line between Calle Mayor, Calle de Alcalá. This fact is very similar to the monument of Stonehenge, Great Britain, where the sun passes through the cornerstone, crosses the circle through the thrillet, and reaches the central thrillet highest of the inner horseshoe, making the ortho of the summer solstice, Puerta de Alcalá. The eye of Puerta del Sol gate in the diagonal of the sun between A, B, Puerta del Sol, C, Puerta de Alcalá, and Alcalá. View of today's Puerta del Sol Plaza with central arcs, oculus of the old Puerta del Sol, located in the plaza, marking the two solar diagonals between the solstices. Urban view of Madrid with the diagonal of the sun between the Puerta del Alcalá, the Puerta del Sol, and the river, where the Madrid Sky Gate will be located as a higher thrillathon to welcome the sunset inside the arc. Solar effect in the central thrilid of Stonehagen, image of the solar effect produced in Stonehagen since 3,100 years ago, which was repeated in an equivalent way in the central arc of the square and the Madrid Sun Gate, as well as the plant of the points A, B, and C of the British monument before mentioned. Sun effect at the Puerta de Alcalá Gate, equivalent to the previous of the Puerta del Sol Gate. Spatial view of the sunset on the diagonal line of the sun from the Puerta de Alcalá with the solar effect, crossing diagonally the plaza of the Puerta del Sol until it sets inside the Madrid Sky Gate, which rises from the river. The diagonal of the sun follows Madrid's Mayor's Street and crosses the Puerta del Sol in diagonal. The diagonal of the sun over the city of Madrid, which gave its name to the Puerta del Sol plaza from Madrid Sky Gate, located in the Madrid River, to the Puerta de Alcalá, running along the Calle Mayor and Calle Alcalá. The diagonal of the sun axis between Madrid and Barcelona by Calle Mayor de Alcalá and Ciudadana. Extensions of the diagonal of the sun from Madrid to the Mediterranean Sea, whose axis passes through Alcalá de Henares, city of Roman origin Complutum, and the village of Ciudadana of Arab origin, surrounded by cliffs. The diagonal of the sun passing Alcalá, Calle Mayor, Complutum, Roman city, 1st century before Christ. The diagonal of the sun passing through the Calle Mayor of Alcalá de Henares, where the houses of Cervantes the Greatest, figure of Spanish language, is located, and from where the cities of Hispanic America were traced, with streets of Cardo north-south and the Cumano east-west, originating from the Roman cities with their central plaza and their meeting points. The diagonal of the sun passing through the main street of Ciudadana, small village and with Arab castles, 1153. The diagonal of the sun along Main Street of Ciudadana, a small village surrounded by cliffs with its Arab castles of defense conquered in 1153, with a later Romanesque church from the 12th century. Diagonal of the sun from the Mediterranean Sea, Barcelona to Madrid. Characteristics: widening of the Cedro plan in the city of Barcelona with its grid arranged diagonally 45 degrees with respect to the north, south, and with the diagonal of Barcelona Avenue crossing it to the Mediterranean Sea. After leaving aside the Sagrada Familia and coming from the axis of diagonal del Sol from Madrid, it is constituted in the aerial highway between both Spanish capitals. North-south extensions quadruple with the Sagrada Familia, the diagonal Barcelona and Sea. Night view of the diagonal of the sun and the